How's it going, everybody? I wanted to record a quick video, or hopefully it's quick, around the topic of how far to take your studying when you're studying for any exam, really. Um, IT exams, especially if you've ever taken a Cisco exam, there's a blueprint or a curriculum, if you will, if you're thinking traditional school logic, and you've got this flow that you can go through to gain all the information, gain all the knowledge that you need to have in order for you to take the exam. So let me give you an example of what I mean. So here I've got the Cisco certifications website pulled up, and since I'm currently refreshing my CCNP service provider, I've already got the certification, so I don't actually need to go take the exams. If I wanted to, I could, but that would require me to pay a lot of money, and I had to pay out of pocket because my employer is like, well, you've already got the certification. Why would I have to pay for you to go take the exams? Because I don't need to. So for that reason, I'm not. But what I'm referred to the exam topics, it is important for you to understand what the exam topics are. Now, because this is what they classify as a minimally qualified candidate, is somebody that has gone through, and sometimes they use that verbiage, sometimes that they don't. What they will do, and I don't see it listed here, so general guidelines for the content likely to include in the exam. However, other related topics may also appear on any specific delivery of the exam. To better reflect the content of the exam and for clarity purposes, the guidelines below may change at any time without notice. So Cisco gives themselves a get out of jail free card, if you will, when it comes to this. And to me, I've never been a big fan of it, but to be honest with you, it's one of those things where it is what it is. So the question that a lot of people have, including myself, is if I'm studying for a certification, depending on what certification I'm studying for, if it's like CCNA or if it's CCNP, there's a line in the sand that's drawn. It's figurative, but meaning it's not actually there, but it actually is. The blueprint tells you what you need to study for. So what you would need to do is you would need to go through all of this, right? So you expand all of these different sections, and if you went through them from start to finish in really any order, and I've mentioned this a number of times, of taking a Excel spreadsheet or like a Google Sheets or some sort of spreadsheet style tracker, and take all of these topics, put them and break them all out so that it's something that you can easily track, and go through the material so you can learn the technologies in order for you to pass the exam. So the question I get, especially from folks that are studying for their CCNA and their CCNP, is how far do I take it? So, because like segment types isn't clear. SR control plane is not clear. Well, the honest answer is they are clear, right? The blueprint says segment type, so you should know what all the segment types are. So you should go do your due diligence when it comes to trying to learn all the material that's out there for you to learn. So that means that could be an official certification guide, that could be the RFCs, that could be the Cisco documentation, that could be other vendor certification or other vendors documentation. So you maybe the topic that you're trying to learn is not clearly written in the documentation of the vendor you're looking at, and you need to look at other resources online. I'm a prime candidate for a prime example of that. Trying to learn SRB6, and I've got multiple sources of information for SRB6, and the best breakdown for it from somebody that's coming into it pretty much brand new, that needs kind of a a step-by-step breakdown of all the individual components to how it all works is the Cisco Press book of segment routing for enterprise and service providers. It's a really good book. It breaks down the technology into finite detail and gives a lot of examples to correlate a term and a capability to a network design and implementation. So it helps get from A to Z. You get a pretty solid understanding of how everything comes together. So the question really becomes then, if I'm learning this, if I learn all of this, is that enough? Well, the answer to that question should be yes, right? But maybe it's not. Like if you were to take it a step further, and let me go to Cisco Doc, let's go to search and look at, I'm currently studying for SPV 5.1. So I come over here, this is the practical exam. So core routing, there's a lot in here, right? So what I'm expected to know as somebody that's currently studying for their CCIE is when it comes to segment routing, I should know every bit of this, right? That's the expectation set for someone like me that's currently studying for their CCIE. I'm using the CCNP as a refresh and the topics at the CCNP level, but I know when I finish the CCNP workbook and I record the CCNP videos that's like if the entire camera space is CCIE, I'm coming to here with CCNP. Now, am I going to take my studying beyond that for my studying beyond what's actually needed for CCNP? Probably. I like to overstudy. If I can take something a little bit further than what I need to, I'm going to do so because it just makes sense. Because going back to Cisco's original get out of jail free card up here with related topics may also appear on any specific delivery of the exam, you kind of have to take that as a, hey, candidate, we may take this further than what you've already studied. Or the official certification guide went to here, but you need to study to here, right? So it's a possibility, and your due diligence as the candidate is to do your best to try to study for all aspects of it. Now, is it a fair assessment for somebody that's studying for a CCNP to be using the CCIE blueprint to study? I'd say no. There's a stark difference between somebody studying for their CCNP and somebody studying for their CCIE. There's a major difference. Now, granted, when you pass the SP core exam or any core of any track, you automatically qualify yourself to schedule the lab exam. Are you ready for the lab exam? No, you're not. Not even close. I would say you're probably 30-40% of the way. The reason why I say that is because there's a number of concentration exams, and the CCIE is specifically designed to test you at multiple different levels across the board. So that's why you really kind of have to rip the Band-Aid off and go for it. So if you're looking to get a gauge as to, okay, how far do I really take it? I've read the official certification guide. I've gone through the documentation. I've done all the things that I think I need to. How do I know I'm ready? Schedule the exam and take it. That's what I've done. I took the Cert Security Lab exam in March. Didn't pass that, but I had passed the NP Security exam, so I passed the SCORE exam. I passed the VPN exam. I thought I was good to go. The best advice I can give anybody that's studying for an exam, especially if you're going for your CCIE, make sure you are really well versed in all the core topics as well as any of the topics that you'll find on the concentration exams across the board. So if you want to guarantee yourself success in your certification journey, the best thing I can suggest to you is to take your studying further than what you think you need to. Even when you think you've reached the line, take it a step further. Either lab up something you haven't labbed up, read it a little bit more than you have. Take it, always do one step further. I always tell my kids, do that 1% extra. That 1% may or may not be the reason why you pass your exam. That's what I've got for you today in this video. Hopefully you found that informative, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.